Today I want to talk a little bit about thermals, specifically the Burris. This one is the BTS 50 and then the BTH 35, which is a handheld. One's a scope, one's a handheld. So I want to talk to you for a minute, about thermal technology and what you could use it for. For me, it was a real eye-opener. I played around with this all spring. In Wisconsin, we're fortunate. You can spotlight for deer at night, but in a lot of states, Iowa, Illinois, the list goes on and on. You cannot use a light, but you could use a thermal for scouting. Let's have a recorder in it, which is even better yet. Now, I can hit the record button. Once you learn, it's one of those things, the more you do, the more you're gonna learn. When else could you use it? Well, if you hit an animal, you could easily, look for something bedded in the woods. If you waited for 3 or 4 hours, that animal's still gonna be warm. Again, you're gonna be able to easily find it. So if you have a direction, if there's not a good blood trail. The other thing is when you're in a box blind or tree stand at night, and you're always worried about spooking those animals, well, now I can grab my thermal out of my bag, do a quick scan, see where the deer are, and literally walk around them so I'm not spooking them. I'm keeping those deer, naive, I guess, where I'm coming in and out and I'm putting less pressure on them, therefore they're more apt to stay in there. 3 of the features that I absolutely loved on this, number 1 was they have what they call quick track, which basically puts a little crosshair wherever it sensed that heat. It made finding the animals extremely easy, and then you could, especially in the distance, you could hold it steady, it would zoom in, and now I can get a better look at that animal. Second feature that I like, the ease to switch to the different thermal options, from the white hot to the red hot to the black hot. Each situation, depending on how dark it is, makes a big difference. So you're gonna find out what's best for you and use that. And it may vary by, given the situation of that night, if it's black, dark, or if it's a little bit lighter. Final feature that I'm going to talk about. Picture-in-picture is what I called it, and it's basically that zoom function, where if you see an animal that's a little bit further out in the distance and it's a decent buck, I could put them in the center, get them centered in that box, now look in that box and see a lot more detail on the racks. It gives you just that added advantage of seeing what the animal really has, because you can tell it was big, but how big was it really? Check out the thermal handheld. It's loaded with features for the price point.